Here's my breakfast for today. Today is Thursday. My husband brought home some of this Applewood Naturals Good Morning Bacon. It's not actually pork belly. It is pork shoulders, so it's a lot leaner. It's more like a turkey bacon, which normally I wouldn't purchase because I prefer the regular stuff, and I think it's delicious. But this was free because he works at a natural food store, and sometimes we get stuff for free when it's getting discontinued or slightly past date. This one is about to go past date. So this is what I'm having for breakfast. I'm going to probably eat all 4 of these slices once they're done. And then I already ate my faye. This is something I've been having for breakfast almost every morning. I'll do 200 grams of the faye, which is a little less than a cup, and then 2 tablespoons of the PB2, and that's 45 calories. So altogether, the 4 slices of bacon and the 200 grams of faye and the PB2, and I already had my coffee with, I do 20 grams of heavy cream. That's 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon. That's just how much I found that I like. And I did some collagen as well. So all of that together is 377 calories, and that is my breakfast. I also wanted to mention that this breakfast on the THM diet is an S breakfast. One more note on the PB2. I said that this breakfast was an S breakfast, but technically the PB2 is not THM approved because it does have a tiny, tiny bit of sugar added. So just wanted to make sure I was 100% clear on that. The PB2 is not THM approved. Besides that, the rest of the meal should be S. All right, it is 12:21 and it's time for lunch, and the girls and I just got back from a long walk to the grocery store, and so I got in and just grabbed a Zevia. I'm gonna have that with my lunch, and then for lunch I have some white rice, which of course if you're THM you know that is not on plan. Brown rice is on plan on THM, but brown rice always gets my gut a little bit more than white rice. White rice does really well for me. I've also checked my blood sugar after eating white rice, and I do really well with it. It's very satisfying to me. It keeps my hunger, energy, and cravings in check. So that's why I go with white rice. But if you are on THM and you're wanting to do it by the book, that would be an off-plan thing. This is some carnitas that I made. It's pork, but it was a very lean roast, so it's pretty low fat. And I'm just kind of counting whatever fat's in it as my fat portion for this meal. So this will be a pretty low-fat meal, even though it is pork. And then I made a big batch of roasted vegetables the other day, and this is the last bit of it. It was a giant batch, and I used only 2 teaspoons of oil for the whole thing, and this is maybe like 1/5 of that, so it's like a couple grams of fat for this. So overall, this meal is going to have very little fat, so it falls within the E parameters as far as THM goes. But again, the white rice is not on plan. If it was brown rice, it would probably qualify as an E meal easily. But this is it's just a low fat meal for me, since I'm doing my own thing. Not 100% on THM. So I'm just going to heat all this up and have my lunch. I also wanted to mention that the calories came out to 593 calories for my lunch. I wanted to give you a quick peek into what my moderation plan looks like. I just portioned these out for the kids with their lunch, and I had one. They smelled good, they looked good, I wanted to taste them, and I tasted one, and I am at the point with my body, physically and mentally, where I can enjoy the taste of one, and as long as I'm not starving, like if I were to be super hungry and then taste one, it would be like, oh, I need to keep eating, but I don't. I try to make sure I don't get to that point. But I just ate my lunch, but one sounded really good, and so I tasted it. It was delicious. And I'm perfectly fine and able to put the bag away and let the kids have the rest another day. And that's it. That's what moderation is looking like for me right now. It's not that I necessarily choose to eat these as part of my meal. Like I didn't sit down with, a a serving of these as part of like my food choices, but I wanted to taste it, and I'm not going to moralize food as in like this is a bad choice, and if I put this in my body, I'm putting poison in my body and it's bad. It's just food. It's no big deal. If I ate the entire bag, that would be bad for my body. I know that. If I ate them every day, you know, a lot of them every day, that would be bad for my body. I know that. But eating one is no big deal. My body can handle it. God made my body very well, and it can handle one chip. So anyways, that's what I've been doing with foods that are around that I just want to taste. I don't necessarily go to the store and buy foods like that because I want to taste them. It's just if it's around and if I feel like I want to, I don't deprive myself and say, no, you can't have that because that's not on your plan. I eat anything's on my plan. Whatever I want to eat is on my plan. So I eat whatever I want, and I know what makes my body feel good. And because of the work I've done on getting my body balanced, I can eat one and I don't have cravings that overcome my body and my mind and control me and force me to eat the entire bag. There's none of that whatsoever anymore. So just a peek, I had one chip. All right, guys, it's a little after 3 in the afternoon, and I'm sitting here sipping on a kombucha ginger. I'd never tried this brand before, but I saw it this morning. So I picked it up. It was a good price. Sipping on that this afternoon for kind of a little snack. I probably won't drink the whole bottle, probably about half. And yeah, I just finished recording and editing a video on the freezer cooking Q&A, so I'm getting that uploaded right now and just kind of relaxing while the kids are having movie time and nap time before the busyness of the evening starts. It is time for dinner now, and I'm having a light dinner, and Renee's having her dinner over here. She's eating some of the carnitas. She thinks it's amazing. I also gave her some orange, but she loves the carnitas and has not even wanted to touch the orange. So that's my girl. She's my little meat eater. But what I am having, I'm having a pretty light dinner. We don't eat dinner as a family very often because my husband's work schedule, so he's not even home yet. But I am having cookie bowl oatmeal from the THM book, and it's a fuel pool recipe. It has just a 1/4 cup of oats in it, and this time I made it, it turned out really soupy, and I think I made a mistake. It's not usually supposed to be that soupy, but I made it, and I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to eat it, and it still tastes really good. And then I'm just having a little bit of carnitas on the side because that's the meat I had made, and I needed some protein. So that's what I'm having. This is where I don't get super strict with THM, having to, you know, classify every single meal I eat. With this pork, it may have enough fat in it to be an S food. And if it is an S food, then that would technically make this meal an S helper meal because it's got the 1/4 cup of oats. But it may be lean enough, so it's possible that it's still a fuel pool with the pork. But that's where I just kind of eat what works for me and not really worry if it falls perfectly into one of the THM categories. I've learned the tools from THM to be able to, what are you doing? To be able to make choices about my food, and I don't have to, you know, classify everything perfectly every time. I know when I was first starting out, it was really important for me to do that and to learn all the little, you know, just how to stay perfectly on plan so I wasn't making mistakes. But now that I've learned that and I have kind of figured out what works for me, I don't worry about it too much anymore. So if you want to be technical, this is probably an S helper, possibly still a fuel pool. But whatever it is, it'll be delicious and it'll keep me full. And this is a fairly light meal. I haven't looked at calories for it yet, but it's probably in the 300 or 400 calorie range. And I'm doing just a light meal right now because I do plan on working out this evening. And I'm usually hungry after I work out. I don't try to go to bed right after without eating because I just get too hungry and I don't let myself get hungry. That's one of my rules. I don't have a calorie count that I have to get to or not go over. I just eat to satisfaction when I'm hungry. And so after I work out, I will probably be hungry and I'll probably eat something else, like maybe some more of the Faye yogurt with the PB2. That's food that I like after exercising. But anyways, I'm having a light meal right now because I know I will eat again later. If I was going to just have this be my last meal for the day, I would definitely make it a bigger meal. It is almost 8 p.m. and I just put the little girls to bed and I'm about to exercise. I'm going to do 15-minute HIIT class to start, and then I may, depending on how I feel at the end of that, I may add some yoga or strength or possibly a little more cardio. So I haven't decided yet 100%, but I'm going to start with my HIIT workout. Sorry for the terrible lighting. It is about 9 p.m. and I finished my exercise. I did the HIIT workout that I showed you, and then I did a Pyo. It was called Pyo Sculpt, and so it was like a yoga-ish, Pilates-ish strength training, like 30-minute workout. So got my legs pretty good, and I don't feel hungry at all right now. Sometimes after I work out, like half hour to an hour later, I'll get hit with hunger really fast. So that's possible that'll still happen. If it does, I'll probably have a Faye 0% Faye with the PB2 like I had for breakfast. But right now I'm not hungry at all, so I may just go to bed here in a little bit and call that good for the day. As far as my calories, I was at 1400 something. If I have the Faye a little bit later, I might get up to about 1600. So that's a fairly low calorie day for me. I usually don't go a whole lot lower than 1400, only very occasionally, and it's usually only if I make an intentional effort to choose only, very filling low calorie foods, like only lean meats and vegetables, like fuelful foods if you're on THM, only lean meats and vegetables and like glucomannan puddings and stuff like that that keep you full with very few calories. But I don't just live on those all the time. So I have to kind of make an intentional effort to get my calories much lower than they are today. My calories have kind of been all over the place. They just kind of go up and down, and I'm just following my hunger. So when I count my calories, it's not like trying to control my food by counting my calories. It's just a good sign for me, a good piece of information for me, because I know that when my hunger and energy and cravings and hormones are out of whack, I am too hungry and I eat too much. Even though I'm following my hunger, my cravings and my hunger kind of go out of control, and I can easily eat, way more than my body needs. But it's what my brain is telling me that my body needs. So when I'm able to see that I've had steady hunger, energy, and cravings throughout the day, and my calories were in a healthy place, they weren't like starvation level, but they also weren't too high that it didn't allow me to dip into my own body fat, because I definitely have fat to lose. So I should, if my body is in a healthy place, I should be able to have my calories a little bit under my needs, and my body should easily be able to compensate for that by dipping into my own fat stores. And when my hunger and energy and cravings are in control and my calories are low, that is a really good sign to me that my body is in a good place. And yeah, I'm not pushing it to anything it's not wanting to do. So anyways, that's kind of how I follow my hunger, energy, and cravings throughout the day, and kind of just how I eat. It's been extremely freeing to be able to follow my hunger and still be in a healthy place, because before I felt like I was, and I really was. I was trying to keep my hunger, energy, and cravings in check, but my body required me to eat a lot more because of the underlying issues that I had going on, and my body wasn't getting what it needed, and so it was craving more and more. And now that I'm in a place where my body is balanced, I can eat less and still feel good. So that's fantastic. So that has been my day. I think I'm probably done eating for the day, but I may go get that yogurt if I need to. And so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this little peek into what my eating looks like right now. And I mean, today is a fairly normal day, but it's not. I do different things. I'm not always in a rut like this. It's just it varies from day to day, but this is a kind of day that happens fairly often. So I hope you enjoyed this peek into my day. And if you like to see more videos like this of like what I eat throughout the day, just leave a comment below or leave a thumbs up, and that'll give me a good idea if this is something you'd like to see more of, because it's definitely something that I can do. So let me know. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.